What's up, Crystal?
Hey, girl.
I'm good. I'm good. You know, the reason why you fit in the spiritual release segment is because your story is holistic and it encompasses mind, body, and soul
Oh,
and spirit. And I
don't make me feel
cannot,
too special.
man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for you to tell your story. The world needs to hear it. You know, I always call you a superwoman, and
Wear my cape today.
the world needs to hear it.
Yeah.
Introduce your title, Doctor what?
Dr. Crystal Cologne.
But what's that other name you use?
Oh, man. Dr. Chris. It just depends. Depends on the day. Depends who I'm working for, what's going on.
What's behind that? What made you? Why did you have to ever turn your name from Crystal to Chris?
You know, just working in this industry, trying to come up. It's a man's world. And at the time, Crystal Cologne wasn't too popular.
Oh, okay.
The name, because I'm a female. So I had to kind of doctor that up. And I became Dr. Chris.
Right.
Because that gave me the opportunity to enter any aspect without them really knowing who I was,
Okay.
without them knowing the gender.
Oh, so you had to hide your gender. You had
I
to.
had to hide my gender
Wow.
because the education itself wasn't enough. Even though I have an extensive background in education,
Okay.
that wasn't really enough when it came to the higher paying jobs, the more interesting jobs, the more risky jobs. I had worked for the prison for a while, and when I first turned in my application as Crystal Cologne, they were like, "Nah,
Right.
we don't want that." But as soon as I said Chris Cologne, they were oh so interested, and I don't think they really did the full background in the beginning. But when I came for the interview, they're like, "Where is Dr. Chris Cologne?" I'm like, "That's me."
That's you.
And at the time, they couldn't really discriminate because I'm in your face now.
Right.
You know, They don't just have the paper.
Right.
They have me.
Right.
So, I mean, they tried everything. Oh, you know, it's no hostage clause. There's no this. You know, we're not going to, if something
What'd you
happens
say? A
to you-
hostage clause?
Yeah, they have a hostage clause where if somebody holds you hostage, they're not coming to get you.
Okay.
And I was like,
What?
yeah. And so, like, I felt like they just kind of gave me all these, like, things to discourage me to kind of push forward.
Well, that would be kind of discouraging if they wasn't gonna give you a hostage clause. That mean your ass is grass.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like if the prisoners take you hostage. Oh well.
It's, oh, well.
That probably would have discouraged me, but no,
It didn't discourage me.
Okay.
And then it was so funny that you say that because I think they gave me the job. They're like, here, take the job. You want it? Here.
Yeah.
And I think the third day, I was held hostage. I'm like,
I think what you say, Aziz.
Wow. That's man.
the third day I was held hostage, and I'm serious. I'm like in negotiation mode now. I'm like,
Wow.
you took me? They not gonna come get me? Why would you take me? I'm like, look, let's come up with a plan. We need to go get the warden. That's the person you need, not me. I'm a no booty just like you. And they're like, no, we're gonna use you for ransom. I'm like, I don't know what you're getting. You ain't gonna get nothing. So for I think about 14, 18 hours, we in there playing cards and chess. Cause I was like, I told y'all.
Wow.
I was like, I don't know what y'all was thinking, but nah.
They not coming to get me.
Nah, they not. Now we on lockdown. Now we eating peanut butter and jelly. I was like, I could have told y'all this before we did all this.
But you stayed with it though. So
What'd you say?
Honey?
I said so. Apparently though, she stayed with it.
I did stay with it. I did about 6 years with
Oh,
the
okay.
federal prison,
Okay.
and yeah,
Did you
A lot of
change some
interesting
lives in
things.
there? Do you feel like?
my everywhere I go or whatever I do, is my objective to change lives. To, you know, you've already been punished. You're already sentenced. You're doing your time. So that wasn't my main thing. My main thing is, can you get the best possible care
Yeah.
while you're here?
Yeah.
And instead of some bootleg medicine or somebody not knowing what to do or how to treat you. So everything else was kind of like secondary when it came to, you know, things that they might have done or things that they were convicted of. So I can definitely say I probably changed a few lives.
Right.
In the prison
Absolutely.
system.
Did anybody ever did any of the men how were you protected at the did they try to get at you? Did they try to I know they was come on you were in the prison system,
so
man.
At the federal level,
Okay.
You are the doctor and the guard, so you don't get a guard to go with you and kind of make sure you okay, and then you don't get a gun. I'm like, I don't get a gun, but they train you on a gun. They train you with all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be cool once I get into the prison. And they're like, no, you get these keys. And I'm like, well, where's the AK-47 and the 9? They were looking at me like, girl, stop it. And I'm like, so I'm not getting it.
Flashlight. You got to shine somebody.
Huh?
I said, not even a flashlight. You got to shine somebody.
Oh my God. Not even a flashlight. They're like, no, that's too much stuff. You get
Wow.
the keys. And so I'm like, oh my God. So of course the first day I'm there, I'm like, they have a line. So you have to sign up to see the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is crazy. So the first person comes in, I see him, no problems, no nothing. Second person comes in, oh, all of a sudden he got everything wrong with him. Oh, I got a hernia, I got this, I got it that. I'm like, okay, where's the hernia? Right here. I'm like, serious? Serious is right there? He's like, oh, and then they gave me this medication, and this medication, it got my penis not working. And I'm like, why the fuck do you want it working in here?
Right.
That should be a good thing.
Right.
You want it to be working in here? And so
Like,
I'm
that's the
like,
place
nah,
I'm definitely cool with it at.
I got a lot of interesting cases, a lot of funny cases, and it's just. But yes.
Get up to so people want to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was loud.
What about perverts? Did anybody ever try to?
Yes. So it's one particular case that I remember very well because I felt so stupid at the end. So he comes in. He has something wrong with his toe or something like that. I don't know what happened, but I basically had to remove his toenail.
Oh, sure.
And so I'm removing it, but when it comes with that, he has to come back every 2 days or whatever, so we can check the gauze, check everything. And he was like, Dr. Cologne? I'm like, yeah, but what's up? He's like, you know that medicine you gave me? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that medicine make me have weird dreams. And I'm like, okay, here we go.
Right.
Like, what are
Here's
you
the
talking
setup.
about this damn weird dreams? I was like, I don't care. If the medicine make me have weird dreams, don't even take it. I don't care. He's like, no, but I just want to tell you about the medicine. I'm like, okay, what's going on with the medicine? He's like, yeah, it just makes me have weird dreams. And I'm like, what kind of dreams? Because I see you want me to coax this out of you.
Right.
And he's like, I had a dream that I was eating you. And I was like,
wow.
what? So of course now I'm cussing him out. Oh, get your ass back in the cell. You're stupid. And he's like, no, calm down. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have Psych come see you. I'm gonna make sure you're in a hole. Oh, I'm just going crazy. And so he's like, you're tripping. Wait. I was like, you're a cannibal. I'm just going crazy. And then he's like, what? He's like, you think I want to eat you? I said, you said you want to eat me. And he's like, you're a pussy. I was like, okay, you're really going to the hole now. You're really going. You're up out of here. And I'm like so naive. I'm so stupid. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what? I'm thinking he's really trying to eat my skin. Like, oh my God. And he's like, really?
Well, see, that's what I thought. As soon as you said it, I was like,
Yeah.
I
was
see
like,
where this is going.
I'm writing notes like, yeah, you're going to see Psych today, buddy. And he's like, no, not that. I'm like, well, still, you're going.
How long have you actually been in medicine? Like, how long have you been a doctor?
17 years.
Wow.
Since 2002.
Wow. What was that
Yes.
like? I mean, what was the journey like for you, man? Like,
Oh my
what
God.
what made you decide I'm gonna be a doctor?
Well, I always knew that I was going to go into medicine.
Okay.
And I didn't know what route I wanted to take. In the beginning, of course, I did nursing, probably like a lot of people do, like, oh, let me see if this is even a field that I want to go into. So I did nursing. And then from there, they was like, well, you can go into either PA school or you can go MD school. And I was like, what's the difference? And I found out some of the differences and some of the things that I liked as a PA versus I didn't like as a physician. So I ended up going to PA school. So of course I went to like all these different schools trying to get these prerequisites, UCLA, Compton, oh, you name it, I've probably been there. Just so I can get all these prerequisites done. And then finally I got the prerequisites done, and then I'm like, okay, what do I want to do with this? So I immediately said, you know what? I want to go to Charles Drew. And everybody's like, what is Charles Drew? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's historically black college
Okay.
that's geared to medicine. So
All right.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to go there. And they're like, well, are you going to apply to any other schools? I was like, nope, I'm not going to need to.
Right.
I mean, this is when I can say that I just went by faith
Mm-hmm.
only. I did not care. I didn't care what was going on. So I was like, I'm going to apply for this school.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied for the school. The first thing I get is, well, you're probably too young to go here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean you're probably too young? Like, what
Because
does
you
that mean?
graduated early from.
So I graduated when I was like, well, I was going to be 16, but I graduated when I was 15. And I already had a baby. So, of course, like a lot of people kind of like written me off a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they didn't know the story behind
Right.
it. They just seen a teen parent and, you know, oh, she's not going to graduate school. Yeah, I did.
And early.
I was already graduated. Like, you know, what's going on?
Yeah.
And from there, so I just went straight to college. I did have some scholarships. My mom talked me out of them. Thanks, Mom. But at the same time, I really do thank her.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be where I am at today
Okay,
when
okay.
it came to that. So I applied for the school. When I can say every drama that could happen, it happened. So I applied for the school. The application didn't get there on time. Luckily, I had a little FedEx thing that, hey, this is my receipt.
Yeah.
And I got there because, you know, with applications, they want it in by a certain time.
Yeah.
And so I got the application in, and then when they got the application, they were like, oh, she's too young. She's not going to be able to do it, because at the time I was 19. And I remember being on a panel, and they're like, you're not going to be able to even use the equipment. I'm like, what law is that?
Right.
Where does this say this at? Because
Just making
I've
up shit
been a
as they
nurse
go.
since I was 16. So when did it stop where I can't all of a sudden touch anything?
Right.
Because I'm touching everything. And so they were like, okay, so I guess they looked into it, and they were like, well, hey, you know what? She was on this panel. She was able to answer these questions. We like her personality. We're going to let her in. They let me in, and I'm serious. Drama. Just because I'm a woman and my age. And then, I'm a little cute.
Right.
Had
You're a
it
beautiful
going on-
woman.
Had it going on back then. So it was like, yeah. So when I say drama.
Drama.
They literally didn't think I had a brain, but I had a vagina.
Yeah.
They knew I had a vagina,
Yeah.
so they were like, And it seemed like everywhere I went, forget that straight A student, forget that 4.2, 4 point whatever. You had a vagina. So I had
So
to
we
deal
not
with a
letting you
lot of
in.
that.
So what? So did they try to hinder your process? Like, were you ever trying to get in somewhere, and they were, trying to hinder the process of you getting in there, but you was able to?
Every part of medicine, which I'm glad that I'm in medicine, but every part of it, yes. I always had somebody who wanted to get the panties instead of really knowing that, I actually know how to do this.
I know how to do
I
this.
got people's
Right,
lives in
yeah,
my
brain
hand.
behind
Like,
it.
What you say?
Hey.
What you say, Aziz?
There's brains behind all of this.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if
Can we
that's the
turn 'em
case,
up?
I wouldn't have
Turn
went
'em
to medicine. I would have went into selling vagina and
Right.
cuteness.
You can say it here. You
know.
selling. You can really say it.
Yeah, because it's like,
You can say.
what do
You already asked me, can you cuss? You can say that word here.
Yes,
That's.
due to the fact that I worked at a prison, I kind of cuss a lot, but I'm
that's
learning.
just you.
I'm
Whatever.
becoming a better person,
Whatever.
I guess,
Whatever.
as they say.
I'm
But
looking
yes,
for something to blame
cuss
it
a
on
lot.
too, Crystal.
But that's
I'm looking for something to blame my cussing on too. I haven't thought about that one yet.
Because I was in prison.
It was original. You tried it.
It's so funny because, I would talk to prisoners and I'll be like, I can remember, I'm serious. I remember my first few months. I'm like, okay, how are you? What's going on? And then they're like coming in there with this stupid shit all the damn time. So then I got, what the fuck you want now? And it was just like, oh my God. I know they was like, oh my God. Yeah.
And it just carried on throughout.
And it carried on. Because I realized that that's the only thing they really understood. When I was nice, oh man, I was getting trampled on. They was coming to see me 7 times a week. And I'm like, okay.
So, with all this, and you're a mother.
Yes.
How many?
So I have 4 biological children, and then I have 3 adopted children.
Okay.
And they're all grown, except my last 2. And so I have a 15-year-old. She'll be 16. And then for some reason, I just had a baby.
For some strange
For
reason.
some strange reason, I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't have enough to do. I had a baby. But I love her. She's just like the apple of my eye. So yeah, I end up having a baby.
And she's a Pisces like her TT.
And she is a feisty little thing. So yeah.
But I really think that was special because you had gotten sick, yourself
yeah, so
as a
the
doctor.
Story behind that, I had gotten sick. We had went to the Dominican Republic. We came back. But before we came back, we had like missed our flights, and we were in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I came down with like this weird shortness of breath and coughing. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Long story short, I got back here. They were like, you have cholera. I'm like, cholera? Okay. Some shitting? Okay, but that's it. So they're like, yeah, you got cholera. But so they gave me this medication. I took the medication, and then I'm like, but I'm not getting well.
Uh-huh.
So I got this shortness of breath. I'm feeling bad. I'm like, oh my God. So of course me thinking, oh, maybe it's just gas. I'm putting myself to sleep, taking gas eggs, doing everything. But I'm telling you, I went to work. I came home, and I just got the sharpest pain in my chest. Still shortness of breath, but just the sharpest pain. So I went to the hospital. They did my vitals. They're like, you're fine. I'm like, do you think I came here for heartburn? No, I'm not fine. I'm telling you something's going on. So, of course, them not knowing my background, they're like, kind of just pushed me off to the side. I'm in in the emergency room. So then I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to psych myself out. Like, maybe I'm not that sick.
Right.
Maybe I can go home. So I'm like walking out the door. Next thing I know, I collapse. I come back in there. Still, they're fucking around.
Well,
They're
how
like,
are you being so humble as a doctor? Like, you're a doctor. You know they're doing the wrong shit. How are you like?
True, but when you're like sick, you're not thinking.
Okay.
You're not even thinking about what the possibilities are. You're not thinking of a heart attack. You're not thinking of, any lung disease. You're thinking, it hurts, but maybe it's not that bad. You're not really thinking like that until I fell on the ground. That's when I was like, the doctor mode kicked in. Oh, I need a CT scan. I need a this. They looking at me like, you need a what? Yeah, I need a CT scan right now. And luckily, a doctor was listening. Because at first they weren't trying to do anything. Oh, they like, they looked at that insurance. They like, girl, you gonna go out here for a minute, and as long as you're still breathing, we gonna call you in about 45 seconds.
So okay.
45 minutes.
So wait a minute, your insurance.
Oh,
is
even
not,
my insurance.
Huh? This country is really bad.
This country is really bad.
When the doctor don't got good insurance.
The doctor got to be a doctor to himself. So I had to go in there, act crazy. Luckily, they did a CT scan. They found out I had a pulmonary embolism.
For the ignorant and for the
so
layman.
A blood clot that went to the lungs and got lodged in the lungs.
Oh my God.
And I had it for so long that half of my my right side of my lungs had collapsed, and so therefore died off. So of course now they are panicking because they know oh shit, she's really sick.
Yeah.
So now they have me hospitalized. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. I mean, I got the best treatment in the world. I was like, yeah, I've diagnosed myself. I had to do my own medicine. Do I have to tell you what to give me too? And they're like, no, we're so sorry. We just, we were backed up. I mean, they're coming with all these things, apologizing. They don't usually do that. So, but at the same time, they knew I can't wait to get out of this hospital. I'm gonna write all kind of letters. And I got a lot of time since I'm off.
Right.
So now I can harass you.
Right.
So, yeah.
But you came through that. You got through that.
Yes.
And then got pregnant, had a baby. How does...
So then they're came up with this wonderful idea. Oh, you had a pulmonary embolism. You can't take birth control. You can't have an IUD. You can't have nothing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay. But then they're telling me, we're going to give you this medicine and you're not going to get pregnant. I'm like, oh, okay. As soon as I stopped that medication, to the day. I stopped it one day. The next day I was pregnant. I was like, are you kidding me?
I said, God ain't through with you yet.
Yeah.
He
and
still
I was
got
I'm old too. I'm like, what is this? Got pregnant. I'm like, Had another girl. I'm like, God, I'm a girl maker.
How many girls is that now? That's 4 girls?
4 girls.
Yeah.
And then my adopted daughter,
yeah.
Angel. So, I just couldn't even believe it. I'm like, dang, it at least been a boy. Dang.
I know you're like I always call you Superwoman, man. It's amazing. You're the things that you've triumphed through, I should say, because I don't want to say, gone through. I mean, you came through, kicking and screaming and winning.
All those experiences were what I needed to push me to where I'm at. So, like, I agree with you. They're definitely just experiences. I couldn't say that I had a bad experience or it wasn't a good experience. Even the experience at the hospital, Corona Regional. But yeah.
Okay, we're going to put them on blast. All right. What now? What? Corona Regional.
Even the experience I had there.
Okay.
I love y'all. I made it. So,
Right.
I know you had those nurses in there cracking up, man. They probably was like,
yes.
you said, what happened? They put you, no.
Oh my God, girl. They put me on the floor because obviously I'm really sick. So they put me on my blood thinners, and they had me next to this lady. Again, not good insurance. I'm with somebody in the room. And this lady must have been hooked up to every single thing to keep her alive.
That's not funny, but like.
It's not funny,
but that's who
I'm
they
serious.
put you
When
next to.
It was like, when I say every noise was making, I was like, what the hell is going on in this? I was like, how old is this lady? Why are y'all trying to keep her bionic? What I mean, when I say everything was cooked up for her, and they were just like, I was like, I got to go to another room. I can't get no sleep in here.
And you feel like you're laying next to
I don't know.
death or okay, I said that. I said that.
Yeah, I'm saying they had stuff out her ear, her nose, her mouth. I'm like, what in the hell is going on with this woman? And I'm like, I know you can't tell me what's going on, but this lady has everything breathing and doing stuff for her. What is she doing for herself?
Right.
I was like, okay, y'all gonna have to put me in another room. And then they put me in another room, and her ass had the nerve to be snoring. I'm like, it's loud.
You can't get a break.
I couldn't get a break. I know the lady thought I was crazy. I got up. I was like, excuse me. Can you turn on your side? She was like, oh, yeah. I was like, okay, she's used to that. Because I would have been like, get the hell on your side. But yeah, she must have been used to that, for sure.
Have you ever had to save any of your family member? Have you ever had to be doctor to a family member even when you weren't supposed to?
Yes. My grandmother, my kids, everybody.
What? Now,
so my grandmother
is a mother. Like that's
a mother is given. Every day you got to save them.
But was this a different situation?
It was a different situation because again, my kids have been through a lot. But so my biological children, their left ovary wasn't really functioning. So my now 15-year-old, they had to remove her ovary. They didn't remove my other girls, but they were saying that, hey, they can't, they're not functioning at their full capacity. Yeah, they might be able to get pregnant, but it'd be very unlikely.
Yes,
they didn't know. And so what I did was, so I froze my eggs for them. And let me just tell you, that little storage fee, they better be lucky I don't know how to store that shit in my refrigerator. I was like, I must really love these kids. Because I was like, how much? Oh, shoot. I went into the wrong profession. I need to store people's sperm and eggs.
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
To keep it on ice.
To keep it on ice, just in case. So I did that for my kids.
Because that's just something as a whole, we as Black people just don't think of. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm like, even myself, I never would have thought of that as a woman. Something like that happening, I would have been like, well, shit, damn, what y'all gonna do?
Like, oh well.
Right, like, damn. Well, y'all ain't gotta have to worry about, dealing with no stupid ass baby daddies and all that stuff. Like that route with it, God has a plan,
He helping y'all out. So y'all don't gotta be doing no stupid stuff. So yeah, I did that for my kids, and it's just precautionary, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all want these old ass eggs? Shit. I ain't gonna be responsible for what you get. I'm like, let me sign that in a little thing. Hey, you take them, you get something you don't want. Hey, that ain't my. Hey, don't try to bring them over here. Don't drop them off. Don't do anything. I want to be grandma from the sideline, like, hey, kind of thing.
So did it pay off? Did it,
you know what? We really don't know.
Yeah.
They have utilized my eggs, but I don't know if it paid off for them or not.
Yeah,
But we can say it did.
All right,
I don't know.
all right.
Right. Well, I get it. I get it.
My 15-year-old, she don't need no damn eggs right now.
Right,
She
right.
better leave them damn eggs on. You better not be thinking about no eggs, girl.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, shout out to her. She's a scholar like yourself.
She is very, very smart, beautiful child. I
Yeah,
mean,
give her a
I
shout
don't
out.
want to say it's like the best child I ever had, but she just,
Yeah.
yeah, Jordan, I love you, baby.
Hey.
Yeah, she's definitely like my superstar.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she gets it from you, rubs off on you, from you. Yeah, you seem to be the matriarch of your family. Yeah, I've
Well, I
always been
try to
pretty
be.
proud of you for that.
Yeah.
So, do we have any callers? Anybody want to ask any questions? Oh, we have questions from the chat. Was it from Facebook? All right. What is your medical specialty?
So, my medical specialty was trauma emergency medicine. But now I do psych.
Okay.
And I do trauma psych.
Okay. And you did gynecology before?
I've done everything except neural surgery.
Wow.
But I've done every aspect of medicine.
And you were an ER? Were you an ER?
ER,
doctor?
trauma.
Same thing. Sorry.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just,
You fine. Girl, you fine.
Someone asked, why did you choose it?
I think it probably was embedded in me as like a young child because everybody in my family on my dad's side are doctors, lawyers, engineers, and it's like basically pick what you're gonna do. And so I spent a lot of my summers with my aunt, and she's a gynecologist. Her husband's a gynecologist, and so this is what you're doing. I'm not a nurse. Oh, but you're still gonna get these tools and you're gonna get this stuff together.
Right.
So I think it was kind of like embedded in me, I would say. But then also I always wanted to be that person to help people, to make them feel good, regardless if it's beauty or if it's medicine. So I think that's kind of the reason why I picked medicine.
So you bring beauty to medicine. I get it. So your aunt and uncle, they were both doctors. Okay, so when you were in high school and then you got pregnant, what was did your aunt and uncle say, like, you're not going to be a doctor, you're tripping, or what?
They didn't really outright say it,
Uh-huh.
but I could see in their face like,
Damn.
like, she ain't gonna make it, It's not until I actually made it till they're like, hey, baby. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, when you made it, were they like
Yeah.
just
Oh, I
super
knew you
duper?
was gonna make
Huh?
it. I always knew you was gonna make it.
Right, all
Yeah,
that.
all that. In the background had the little thing. Like, I've always had her stuff, holding her stuff.
Yep.
She was going to do it. I knew it. Okay. I'll give you that for today. But when we get home, we can talk about this.
Okay, so we have another one. What advice would you give young women and girls in grade school, in high school,
What advice?
who wants to become doctors? That's a whole lot. All right, there we go. Yeah.
I think the best advice that I can say is start now. Whether
Yeah.
that is internships, whether that is volunteering. Charles Drew, I don't know if they still have that program, but they have a LAMP program where you can go to different aspects of medicine and just see if you like it. Because a lot of times people see the glamour of being a doctor or a lawyer or a songstress, and they don't really know what it takes to do it.
Yeah.
And then when they get into it, they've already spent all their money trying to go to school and do all these different things, and then they find out, I don't really like this shit.
Yeah.
But guess what? What are you going to do? You're going to have to pay that money back. And are you going to really stop? So I feel like it's a lot of people doing things that they don't really necessarily want to do because it was like sound good and it was looking great at the time until they found out the work that they had to put behind it and the sacrifices that they had to put behind it.
Right.
So I think that's a
Well, I mean, if I could chime in and I can like add on to that, like I've always looked at things like whatever you decide to do, you got to have a calling for it when it's something as special or important as providing medical care for
absolutely,
people.
absolutely.
And so it's not just a want to be a successful person in life or just I don't want to be this or I don't want to grow up this way. It's that you got to have a calling for it. You got to have a calling to be an artist, like a songstress.
Absolutely.
You got to have a calling to be a fireman. And I definitely think you got to have a calling when you go off into the medical field.
Absolutely. You have to have a calling, you have to have a passion, and if you don't have those two things, then you need to kind of regroup and figure out what direction you want to go in. Because surprisingly, like I come across a lot of people who, again, like the glamour of the being a doctor, but
Right.
maybe are not really necessarily cut out to be one. And then that's why I feel like it's different avenues that they can take. You can be a nurse. You can be, a technician.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily be a doctor.
Right.
Because they can utilize you in any of those things.
Right.
Because they're important.
Right.
Without them, it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it by myself.
Wow.
So you were motivated, you would say, by your family to pursue medicine. When did you fall in love with it?
Probably when I went to nursing school.
Okay.
I had a really, really good teacher, Lillian. Her name is Miss Giles. She was very, very instrumental in kind of molding me in medicine, and I think that's when I probably had the biggest love for it. I remember taking like my first few tests on medical terminology, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it. And that's just because we didn't have all these nice little gadgets where it's gonna tell me how to say this. I was like, I don't know how to pronounce half these words.
Right.
I don't know what we're gonna do here.
Right.
I'm gonna have to. I remember my patient telling me I need to go to the emergency room, and I was like, what the hell is the emergency room? And I'm like, oh, the emergency room. But I did not know what she was talking about.
Okay.
But it kind of just like made me think about
back.
taking those tests and not really knowing how to say those things. And I was like, but would I pronounce it?
Emergency? I don't know. I don't know. Funny story. It has nothing to do with what you just said. Funny story. So we was in Spain just last year, and we were just walking with Barcelona. We were just kind of walking around trying to explore, me and my husband, and we walked past a grocery store, and all of a sudden my husband goes, "What the hell is a super meerkat?" And I said, "What?" He said, "A super meerkat." I said, "A super meerkat." He was like, "Yeah, look." And I looked at the grocery store, and it said it was spelled SUPER. MERCAT, right? And it was supermarket, right. But they just say supermarket, supermarket. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what the hell is a supermarket?
Yeah,
but anyway, go ahead. I digress. Go ahead.
No, you are absolutely fine. But yes, I think definitely that's kind of where I built my love for medicine.
Yeah,
would be in nursing.
Yeah, good. Anybody want to call and say something? Ask this lovely young lady something. Talk to her about something. She has so many other things to talk about and so many other jewels to share with us. We got her until 8 o'clock. She's going to hang out with us.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I get to hang out. Oh, what are we doing next? I'm ready. Oh, we're still talking about me. Okay.
That call-in number is 646-378-0355. Press 1 to be heard, to ask questions, to chime in, to add on. And we're here for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, you know me, I'm a don't like medicine type of person. And there's a lot of us out there. And I believe in the holistic, pure experience and, vegetables
Absolutely.
and fruit and all those things. And with you being a woman and a Black woman and in medicine and as a doctor and understanding both sides of the house, what is your take on this, even this vegan movement, this vegetarian movement? What is your take on how we perceive health versus the conventional medicine?
Well, I'm kind of the type of person I want to deal with the body as a whole.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily frown upon holistic approaches. The only time I really kind of like with holistic things is when people tell me like my diabetes is 600, my glucose level is about 600, but I'm gonna take this plant and it's gonna make me feel better. And I'm like, okay, it might make you feel better, but in the long run, is it getting the number down? Because I want to, like, I try to tell them, like, I want to deal with the body as a whole, and I don't want you to just rely on that plant. Is it something else that I can do? Because you might not want to take my medicine, and I agree. Okay.
Right.
But is it something else I can do to make sure that we're following all the steps?
Okay.
Coming with the diabetic diet, reducing the carbohydrates, and then taking our little herb or whatever we're going to do. So I kind of approach it that way. I don't want them to think that, you know, I am the cure of all things.
Right.
Because I've seen things that weren't necessarily medical based.
Okay.
That I can say, that works.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't necessarily say, well, I know this pill right here is going to take your diabetes away. No, I know that if you follow a diabetic diet and you lose that weight and you stop that carbohydrates, then more than likely your diabetes can go away.
Right.
So I think it's just different approaches to medicine. And when you just have that tunnel vision and you only think about, you know, what this pill can do, you kind of lose track of what you should be doing to keep yourself healthy.
Do you think that you would ever find yourself working in conjunction with a holistic doctor, like a team? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm like I said, I am not above it. I don't think I'm above what natural things can do for you because again, I've seen it.
Seen both.
I've seen both. I've seen miracles with medication. I've seen miracles with holistic approaches. I also am a realist. What were people doing before this pill was invented?
Right.
Yeah, some of them were dying, but some of them were making it too.
That's right.
So how can I say that this is not going to be necessarily the best approach when it's been proven? This is what is studied. But at the same time, if people are not making money from it, then it's kind of like this pill's going to do it because this is the miracle because it's been proven.
Right.
That's not true.
And you're able to see that on your side of the house.
Absolutely.
Have you seen any medicine, like have you read any ingredients in medicine, knowing what that ingredient is in that medicine and said, hell no? Like have you ever had that experience even for yourself?
Yes. Yes. I'm like, oh, this is in there? I was like, this ain't going to really work out for me. Do we have something else that you can offer me or we can do something else? And that kind of goes back to my story when I had a pulmonary embolism.
Okay.
Because they were trying to give me all these different things. And I'm like, I can't take this.
Right.
I can't take that. And then finally we got down to a medication that I could
That
take.
you could take.
And again, I didn't want to be, because you know how they say doctors and nurses are the worst patients. I really wasn't being that person. I was really being that person like, okay, if I take this, are you going to kill me? Because, I mean, I made it. I don't want to die because you gave me these pills.
Right.
You know, or you gave me something that I don't know how to do. Or I don't know how to function with this. So we finally came down to a medication that could work with my lifestyle and not harm me.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'm game for that. I didn't want him to think that I was just like this person that just, you know, just against all medicine.
Right.
No, but some of it is like, I don't know about that.
Right.
You know?
I think it comes down to like what you said, what works for you, you know.
Absolutely.
From your spiritual standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from a physical standpoint, health. I think it's like you said, having that holistic experience is all about what works for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What works with your body chemistry as well as your mind, you know.
And then that's been proven from time to time, you know, again, that, you know, certain things don't work with certain people. I mean, I know that we have this, you know, standard of care and standard of medicine. However, it's just the fact of the nature that it might not work necessarily best for, you know, black people versus white people, or it might not work best in this genetic, you know, so that's why they have genetic testing now.
That's right.
Because of those things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I love to say that we're all the same. Yeah, we all bleed the same, but when it comes to medication, it might not be the same.
Right. Like even though a healthy oil is peanut oil, but you know, if you have a peanut allergy,
Then
you could die.
Exactly.
So I get it.
Exactly.
With that, you guys, we're going to take a break. Like I said, Crystal Cologne, she's going to be with us. Dr. Crystal Cologne. Shame on me.
Yeah, shame.
Sorry.
I earned that thing.
That's my girl, Crystal. I mean, what up, Chris? You know, but anyway, she'll still be with us in a few minutes. We're going to be back. And right now, let's hear a song.
Absolutely.
Let me talk to you.
You ain't nothing but a bunch of lies. City, you the devil in disguise. Fool me once, you can't fool me twice. Keep it 100, 1,000. Doing all this texting back and forth. You know you're not connected to the source. You pissed off, take my wig off. You're leaving me no choice. I give you so many chances. No need to babysit. Self-correction. Keep dancing around the question. 'Cause you can't see perfection. All you do is perpetrate. You keep lost on. My card is declined and your access denied. make a fool of me. Boy, you need to know your history. I'm so respected in the industry. You see, I'm trying to leave a legacy. Irrelevant to my progress. Independent, oh yes. And you know that I give you so many chances. No need to babysit. Self-correction. Keep dancing around the question. 'Cause you can't see perfection. All you do is perpetrate. You keep blowing smoke. Card is declining. Your access denied. All you do is perpetrate. You keep blowing smoke. No hello, goodbye. Your access denied. Ooh, your access denied. Ooh, your access denied. When we first met, I was rocking with you. Then the dollar bills made you change. So I changed my rule. But you expected me to bow down. But I'ma need the keys right now. And I already made my mind up. Tick tock, your time is up. Trade, you keep blowing smoke. Card is declining, your access denied. All you do is perpetrate. You keep blowing smoke. No hello, goodbye. Your access denied. Ooh, your access denied. Ooh, your access denied.
2020 vision, baby. Yes, stay focused. We try to keep you focused here. We're trying to give you a holistic experience, spiritual release. We got our girl, Dr. Crystal Cologne, in the house, giving us some jewels about life and medicine and triumph, and perseverance and strength and motivation and inspiration and just being a woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so she's in here dropping jewels with us. And we got my big bro, Aziz, the pulmonologist, co-hosting tonight.
In the building.
Where you at? They got to turn you up. Turn them up. Turn them up. Hey,
I'm in the
hey,
building.
turn them up. Turn them up. Yeah, so he's in here helping his little sis out tonight. And, yeah, we're just going to kick back and keep talking to Dr. Crystal Cologne. Speaking of that, isn't there anyone on the line that wants to ask any questions before we move on? Let me see on Instagram what they doing, what they talking about. All right, well, we're going to keep this train moving. All right, so we have a little segment that we like to call War Stories. You said, We have a segment that we like to call War Stories.
Okay.
And what happens is you can call in.
Okay.
Since you're with us, you can sit with us and tell us now. But,
Okay.
you know, it's for the callers to call in and
Girl, I
vent.
don't think we had much time.
They can vent and they can tell us, you know, about whether it's about your day or just even something that has happened in your life, you know, a story that you want to tell us.
Let's hear from the people, because, yeah, you don't, girl, we ain't
Oh,
got
no,
time.
we want you. You got to kick it off. See, you're going to
I
give
gotta
them the
kick it off?
example. Yeah.
God.
So, you know, anything that you want to share that you kind of, and don't worry, because we're all here to make it all better for you. So just give us a story. Give us something that,
Try to find a short one. Whew.
you know, I know you got some war stories. I done heard some. I done been with you on some. So I know you got some.
I want to keep it PG.
Why?
Let's
I
see.
mean, we can do what the hell we want.
When you say war stories, is it like just what happens
Yeah, just-
at work
or wherever.
Wherever?
Yeah, so it can even be a story that happened in the past, something that happened in your life, or it can be today, or you know.
Okay, so if I was to think of a story, I think it would be, again, the prison.
We'll give you a second.
Hello, you guys. It's me, Amira, the songstress, and you've been tuned into 2020 Vision. I'd like to thank you guys for chiming in with us. I love all your support. But remember, subscribe and also ring that bell so that you can get notifications when we upload a new video. And remember, stay focused like 2020 Vision.